Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. We are barreling towards episode 50, which has been really exciting. I'm recording this right now, right before the new year. It should go up probably this Friday. I hope everyone had a great holiday, great Christmas, or whatever else you celebrate. I did. It was very nice. Didn't do much, and that was the way I like it. But we're back. We're recording and getting ready for 2019. Have some big things planned for 2019 for this channel, which I'll probably tell you guys about a little bit later. But for now, let's go ahead and get on with the show. Last time we were in NWA, we had a little bit of a upset here, if you guys recall, where Icarus actually took the belt from Brian Pillman for the North American Championship. That's pretty big. It was a big upset, definitely one that a lot of people didn't expect. Didn't get the hate that I expected, which was good, as we did it. It wasn't... I'm trying not to do like shocking Russo level title changes, but it's working towards something. So there's a plan in mind for that, and of course, he's doing fantastic. He's in the mid-carder. I would not be shocked if I could push him up now. No, he's still a mid-carder. His popularity's massive from the time we've been working with him. Still only 1 year in, and a young lion. So definitely a great prospect here. He's really moving up the ladder. And of course, the protege work with Christopher Daniels is very big. I forgot we have him as a tag team. We never really actually did anything with that, did we? We just kind of had it there, and we just kind of forgot about it. Oh, well. But guess that's how it goes. We are underpaying him right now. He's kind of estimated to cost of $1,400 per show, so I'm sure that's going to come up at some point. And he's only working for us, which is cool. So let's go ahead and look here. We talked about maybe doing some hiring and firing. And we might. We'll have to look at what we have here. So far, the plan for Starrcade, which was, if you check out our finances here real quick, was... Oh boy, look at those losses. Okay. We are number 23 in the world in financial muscle. Not shocking, because we've blown a lot of capital. Money. There we go. So, this is the first month I think I actually feel pretty good. Excuse me. If we look here, I think the Starrcade plan's working well for us. We're doing about 10K in ticket sales. We're doing 30-ish, 40. We're spending about 40,000 total here, but we're making 20K in TV sales, 2,000 sponsors, and we expect about 16K in pay-per-view revenue. Not bad money here. We're still probably... Really what I want at this point is just to break even, which I think we're close to doing here, because what do we got here? We got 29, 30, like 32,000 here, and every show... Well, not every show, because some of these are actually, some production values is not entirely for every show, but we're doing about like 38 to 29. We need a little bit more of a bump, but maybe with that pay-per-view will get us even. That's kind of the hope right now, because we definitely need to do that. One of the ways I want to do that, though, we got to look at our roster. I know I was talked about it a little bit earlier that maybe we're going to go through the roster here and see if we can hire some new people. See if there's some people out there that might be worth picking up, and maybe some people we can let go. So let's go ahead first, and let's go and look at workers. And I'm curious to see who's out there. Well, first, I want to see anybody that's unemployed. I want to see based in the United States. Actually, it doesn't matter if you're based in the United States, but can work in the United States. And I want minimum 1 year as pro. Let's just do 5 years or something. And looking for a wrestler. Hire. All right, what do we get here? So we get some people here. Let's see if any of these are worth picking up. Ooh. What do you cost? ZZ. $250. I don't know what I would do with you, really. But you have fun with that life, I guess. So we're looking for people that are around probably 600 to 800 range. You know, maybe round out the mid card a little bit. We're looking for some people that have some popularity as well that we could build up. And if you're a young lion, it's not a bad option either. Isn't she pregnant? I guess she's done that. I guess that happens eventually, huh? People stop being pregnant. Nah. Kind of want to fill out my male division more, to be honest, right now. I feel like we're in a pretty good place with the female division. Actually, in fact, during our firing, we might get rid of a few because I think we might be over staffed there. We'll see. We'll take a look here. So, like, here's not a bad option here. Don't know this guy. Apparently, he wrestled in a dark match against Mark Henry. Strong physical performances with an average camera and entertainment value. Might not be bad. 30, so he's not going to improve much, but he's pretty cheap. Let's put him on our short list for now. It might not be a bad option. No. None of the ants, please. No. 2 years. 31, huh? Didn't he... Not great at anything, really. Might not be worth it. Lucas Calhoun, while is a young lion, I don't really know if you're gonna do much for us. You're kind of average everywhere. Very weak respect, weak refereeing, average. I mean, he's cheap, but not really what we're looking for here. Tonga, one of the Tonga brothers. 2 year. Ooh, here we go. Okay, so we got a little bit more scouting from him. Not great. And really expensive for that. I mean, he's very popular everywhere, but like his actual performance is not fantastic. I'd rather get if I was going to get somebody that expensive, I expect a little bit more in the performance area. I mean, he's good in general performance, but kind of everywhere else he's pretty weak. Strong camera though, but again, we're not looking for 1,800 per show. We have a stacked upper mid card. We're looking to fill out the mid card and below a little bit. Laura James, also young lion. But again, we're not like the Shashi wouldn't be a bad option. I'm going to shortlist her just in case. We want to get rid of some people in our women's division because 240 a show, young lion, and very strong everything. For physical at least, and I mean, average for young lion is not bad because she'll improve very quickly. Let's see here. Kira Hogan, Kid Cyclone, Kevin Conundrum. Also not a bad option. 4-year young lion, good price. Shortlist that. I think that's not a bad option. Graduate of the Wrestle Factory in Chikara, so I have a bit of a preference for that. Big fan of, Cesaro came from the Wrestle Factory. Cesaro kind of built the Wrestle Factory, technically. So, there's options there. Kaya Katana. Did we have him at one point? Why do I feel like we had him at one point? Strong performance, strong skills. Young Lion, 290. Not bad. Let's look at that. So we're kind of building the next generation. It's like NWA to next generation as we move people out. Josh Brettel. I mean, he probably has a good... Oh, he's got shit popularity. Wow. And kind of sucks. Nah. James Laurinaitis. Lauren... Is he related to... Yeah, he is. Holy shit. I didn't realize he had a younger brother. Strong physical. Let's think about it. Holodead. Again, I'm not really looking to move up there. Nakamura. Ooh. Interesting. What does he... He's based in New England. Huh. Here's not a bad option. 400. Young Lion. Gonna improve immensely. Decent popularity everywhere already. Not working anywhere. Very strong reputation already. Strong performance and physical, which is for a 2-year pro, a hell of a advantage. Strong babyface or heel gimmicks. Yeah, we'll shortlist them. I like them. Let's do it. I think that's a good option. Maybe we can't get Shinsuke Nakamura, but we'll get Fuda Nakamura. Probably no relation, but we could do some stuff with them. Equinox, another Wrestle Factory. Kind of average though, 170 per show. But we don't need. Well, we might need jobbers, but Dr. Cube. Who is Dr. Cube? Interesting. Yeah, Matha. Another football player, I'm assuming. Yeah. Strong physical again. 3-year pro, no longer a young lion. 270 a show. Meh. We fired Chris at one point. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 600 or show. I mean, he had strong physical and everything else, but I can't remember whether he just was not clicking with the audience, but we did get rid of him at one point. Buddy Royal. Meh. Filthy Tom Lawler. Nah. Pretty expensive for 35-year-old with no Young Alliance status. That isn't really great. Or, I mean, he's got some popularity, but meh. Nah. All right. So, I mean, those are some options here. Did we shortlist Kia Katana? Yes. And you know what? I think let's bring up Melendez again as an option. Just in case we might decide that we want him. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. That sounds like a good roster for mid-card. Let's look at what our roster is now. So I kind of want to look at it here and see who are we overspending for our mid-card or lower. I kind of don't want anybody breaking, like, let's say $900 or $1,000 in cost, because if they're going to be the face of our Starrcade, I really want it to run cheap. So, and we'll also look at some other stuff, but that's kind of how I want to look at it, is the price. So, I mean, if we go to amount, so like Flip and Tama actually are way overpriced for what I want. But I'm not necessarily willing to get rid of them right now. Well, I'm not happy with, and most of it's my booking, to be honest. I'm not happy with where the Tongman brothers are in terms of our booking, but I'm generally not that happy with the way our tag division is. Period. I feel it's just a little weak. Most of our divisions are a little weak, to be honest, outside of the main event scene. I just think that we don't necessarily have the depth of the roster where I have people that I like to put together for tag teams. Okay, so let's look at this here. Let's start with our. So we got an opener, Ho Ho Loon. That's fine. We can keep him. It doesn't really matter. We got Ryan Nemeth, Rory Gulak, Elliot Russell, Chase Owens. Meh. So, who's our most expensive outside of these two in our mid-carder range? Jimmy Jacobs is a little pricey. I feel like we can let him go. Same thing, Mike Verna. I mean, we're in the middle of a storyline. We'll probably end that, but he's a little bit on the pricier side for us. Same thing for women's division. We might want to look at kind of curbing some of this. What do we have here? So Naomi is 1,000, which is a little much right now. It's kind of a lot of much, to be honest. We might get rid of her. I kind of don't want any of the women's division to really be above 700 right now with the way they're drawing, especially because we have to accommodate for Ronda. Because Ronda will be back. It costs us like 1,600, but she's also a huge star. It's worth it for us because she's basically the main event of the women's division. So while I like having Naomi, I think she might just be a little too much money right now. I think everyone else seems in line with where I would like them to be. I think they're all fine, you know. We have Tenille 680, Tessa 700. Like these are fine numbers. But Naomi's kind of the outlier there. I might be spending just a little too much money on her right now. All right, well, let's start from the top and take a look at who we want. Cody, we're keeping. Definitely costs a lot, though. Nick Aldis, we're keeping. Will Ospreay costs a lot of money. And we might move him out of the division, but I'm also not opposed to maybe letting him go for now. There's some options there we can look at. Chris Daniels costs a lot. We have plans for him. He's fine for now. We also don't use him a lot. Ronda is a mega star, and that will be fine. Tongaroa, 1,900 for upper mid Carter. Again, the Tongans we might get rid of at some point. They do have some use for us now. Zack Ryder, could take or leave, though we have a huge contract on him for time. So, I mean, that's an option. Sammy, Chuck, Trent, Dustin, and Adam Hemmings. All these guys are basically within the same pay bracket. We can keep them. It's fine. There's no real outliers here. In terms of the mid-card, are there anybody that's really standing out? Is Flip and Tama Tonga. Like I said, we might get rid of Jimmy Jacobs. We might get rid of maybe even Gotch. Not sure about that yet. And our lower mid card, it's not horrendous actually. Actually our pricing is not the worst in the world. So I think what we'll do for now, I think we're going to get rid of Naomi. Trying to remember how to fire. contract. There it is. I don't think anyone's going to be upset about that. We'll just get rid of her. She's not that skilled for what we need, and it'll save us some of the money. All right. So, here's what we're going to do. Let's look at our short list. I'm trying to remember how to find my short list. I don't remember. Like, there is a way to find shortlisted wrestlers. I remember this. Obviously there is, because there's an option for it. What? Or was it just that the shortlist gives you info on them? I thought there was a way to pull it up, though. Man, it's been so long since I've actually used it. Style speaks backstage. I swear there was a shortlist option. Yes, there it is. Okay, there we go. Any character who's shortlisted. Thank you. Okay. It's like I knew it was there somewhere. So, we still have some people that are obviously on there that we're kind of keeping an eye on, that not much has happened with. A lot of these guys are currently signed. We were kind of keeping an eyeball on. Juice we lost, which was unfortunate. Oh, she's still in NXT there. So let's look at this. So we're kind of going to build up our mid-card. We're looking at who will be stars of Starrcade. $400, young lion, 4-year pro with strong physical skills. I will absolutely take Kevin Conundrum. That's a no-brainer. I'm going to lower his downside. I'm also going to lowball him. Going to give him 3 years of service, but I am going to say that he will be a future main eventer. We'll have him win a lot. Well, do we really want to even give him a... Well, let's see what he'll take, first of all. All shows... Not covered. Let's see if he actually will take just 340. 370. That's fine. But we're not going to give him any stipulations, and then he'll take our downside. That'll change really quickly. He'll want to upgrade probably pretty quick, but that's not a big deal. Let's see here. Get Nakamura. I think same thing. Good price. A lot of potential. And it'll cheapen our show a little bit, which is nice. Same thing. Let's see if we'll take it. I'm not going to anybody sign it longer than 2 years. Oh, he's on excursion. Well, we'll do a 2-year excursion deal. Sure. So wondering why he was there. So, we'll lose him, but that might not be a big deal, to be honest. I'm trying to think if I want him. Now, strong performance skills, though. Randy Rain, huh? Whose popularity is better? Not really much in either way. Well, let's see what I can... Can I get you for cheap? That's the question. 380. Let's say backbone in the roster 370. 360. Yeah. That'll be fine. Okay. So 3 signings. I'm still kind of actually thinking about Laura James, to be honest. But we might have to get rid of somebody else in our women's division. But I like the fact that she has so much potential. She's not working anywhere else. Very good price. Okay, well, let's look. Let's see. Is there anybody we want to get rid of in the women's division? Tanil, I don't want to get rid of. Brandy's not even really in the women's division, but she's basically our manager for Cody. Tessa we're going to keep. Ashley, we're kind of working on developing. Viper is sort of our middle of the pack. Rachel Ellering kind of sucks, but What's going on with Rachel Ellering? 250 a show. Negative momentum. Strong performances everywhere in Young Lion Pro. Like, we could fire on her at any time and kind of, like, push her. She's, we'll keep her. You know, actually, who I'm thinking of, though, is, what's Julia Ho's deal? It's still pretty popular. I don't know. Maybe we won't get rid of anybody. You know, we'll keep the short list because we could always bring her in later. It's always an option. Flip's still a mid-carder. Now I'm starting to think, like, maybe is Will Ospreay too much money for us? That's, like, really the question now at this point, because he's a lot of money. I mean, we have him in a feud. He's costing a lot. He's incredibly popular. He's definitely a draw. He's really popular. He might actually be our most popular wrestler looking at these. So I even think Cody is just a little shy of Cody. Way more popular than Nick Aldis. Where else are you working? NJPW, Lucha, NWA, Progress, Rev Pro, and Defiant. Oh, current holder NWA. It's meant for mid-carders. I'm not really sure why you have me holding it. Well, this is good spoilers. You might not be holding it for long, so don't worry about it. We'll keep him for now, but I might even get rid of him at some point. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm looking at it. I feel like our roster's fine. Our roster is not that bad. There's a couple areas that might be a little overly expensive. Hangman might be a little overly expensive. But he's got popularity to back it up. And somebody like Simon Gotch we might get rid of at some point. Just a little pricey, but even for a mid-carder is kind of pricey, actually. Well, we'll see. All right, well, let's go ahead. I think, in terms of right sizing, I think we don't look horrible right now. Let's go ahead and fast forward over to our show on Starrcade, and we'll see if these negotiations work out or not. All right, so we've been stopped, presumably for our negotiations. Let's go ahead and take a look. Just see what's going on in the world here real quick. I've always been thinking about going and doing a little Chikara playthrough at some point. Kind of was thinking of like a 2005 save where they had so much talent, so much potential. that had all been scouted away. It'd be really interesting to run through. Let me know if you guys ever want to see that. I think it'd be kind of a fun one. Kind of walk back through history of 15 years ago and see if maybe the rise of Chikara could be a little bit different. All right, so Fuda, who's on excursion, he is willing to join us. We'll just set him as a mid-carder for now. And we're still waiting for those other 2 contract negotiations. Oh, cool. So Daniels is on tour with Dragon Gate. And Ronda Rousey wins her MMA fight. So she's back now. Well, she's still training, it says, but I think she'll be done. Now, if I'm correct about how that works, I think she gets a huge... I wish I looked at this before. I think she gets a huge popularity boost from the win. But if she lost, she would take a huge hit. So it actually works out okay for us. But we'll have to bring her back now and kind of go forward with that. I mean, we had to kind of basically stunt our entire women's division because she had the belt and then immediately left. So, yeah, that was not great. It wasn't really how you wanted to run it, but it's out of our control, I guess. So I'm presuming this is the other contracts, and it shouldn't be a problem. We'll set them for both mid-carder, but we'll double-check just in case. He might even be like a lower mid-carder. We'll have to take a look. I also want to see what their gimmicks are, or what their faces are, before we go. Blanchard's on tour with Stardom. So, I mean, that's the other thing that we might want to grab Laura James for, is that a lot of our women are wrestling elsewhere, and that can be a problem with the tours because I think they're unavailable during the tour. What were we looking at? We were looking at Fuda Nakamura. All right, so you're strong heel. No, that's Toho Loon. Okay, just so you guys know, I tried to click that. It's not being racist and just assuming any Asian person was the same person. Okay, just to put that out there. I was trying to click this. All right, strong heel, strong face, strong cocky, strong weasel, strong wholesome. So we could go either way. How many faces and heels do we have? It's something I really should look at more. A lot of faces. A lot more heels. I mean, technically you want more heels than faces, to be honest. Really, especially if you're running like an old school wrestling promotion, if you ever look at it, it really is 3 or 4 good guys versus everyone else is an asshole, which is kind of how you want it. Now, first of all, is he actually a mid-carder? Opener, huh? Well, that's fine. We'll do opener. In that case, we'll make him a face. We'll try to get some momentum for him and see if we can build him up into a cheap star for us. We only have 2 years for him, but that should be more than enough time to mess around with him. So we'll keep him as an old school face. I think we'll be fine. That's a fine gimmick. It'll work. That's no problem. Who else did we hire? We hired Kevin Conundrum. Condrum. Why did I call him Kevin Conundrum? Was that a character that he had at one point? No. Oh, we could have him as Jervis if you wanted to. Spoilers, by the way. I mean, do we want Jervis? Huh. I don't know. He has a Kid Cyclone, Snowflake. We'll keep him as Kevin Condron for now. I think we'll be fine. Though I'm not positive. I think I could have him play multiple aliases in the show. I'm pretty sure there might be an option. I know that they're adding a new feature to the TEW 2020 to make that easier, which is nice. But I think I might be able to actually have him break off as both. He's average for babyface and heel. Strong, cool, strong, crazy, strong, weasel, very strong, wholesome. Is old school face fine? Yeah, that's probably fine. So we'll keep him there. He's probably actually enhancement talent. Yeah. We'll push him to opener as well. They'll move up very quickly. So, in fact, I might even... Let's get them lower mid-card. They're going to be mad at me by the time I even get there. So, actually, let's look at our lower again. And I just want to see... We have heel, heel, face, face, heel. So that's fine. Ryan and Kevin can be the faces there. Hoholun and Nakamura are both face openers, which is fine to give the bad guy something to do, and Nakamura will probably move up to mid-carder pretty quickly, actually. That'll be fine. Who else did we hire just recently? We just did it. Randy Rain. What are you supposed to be? Enhancement. No. We'll do open. We're going to give him a heel gimmick. What is your strength here? Brute. I think we'll do that. Brute, heel. Berserker sounds great. Select it. Done. Should work out well for him. Maybe we'll have him beat up Hoholun a couple times and it'll be fine. Okay, cool. So, that doesn't look too bad. Let's go ahead and move on to the show. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here. Should have our show tonight. Should not have any problems. Our backstage ratings actually dipped a little bit. Let's see what's going on. Raven... Tasteless rib, everyone backstage. Just a stern warning. Personality got worse. So let's meddle with some of our new guys. I think I want Kevin and let's see here. Kind of want them to be. Do him Pillman. No effect. Yeah, Rhonda's still training, apparently. So she'll be there forever. Cody is still out. Should be back soon. I think really soon, actually. Let's check our medical real quick. $29 days still. So, getting there. It'll take a little time, but they will show up pretty soon. And then we have Starrcade, and then we also have, I think, week after next, a pay-per-view. We'll have to take a look at it. But, basically, Cody will not be back until after his brother's first title defense. Possibly only title defense, depending on how it goes. So that'll be an interesting dynamic that we'll play into probably for the next pay-per-view once Cody is actually back. That could be interesting. So let's see, where are we going to be? We got 1,200 fans expected. We are still in the Midwest, as we should be. Want to do Indiana? How much is the West Union Fairground going to cost here? So $1,250, $3,800. It seems perfect, actually. We'll do the same location. I think we just had a show there previously, so something we have to keep in mind is not reusing the same location over and over again. We might want to build our own venue again, and just make it right. Maybe we'll just make it for a Starrcade. So once we kind of see an equilibralize and see kind of where we're at in terms of attendance, we might do like a 2,500 person location to kind of accommodate that, and then we can run pay-per-views elsewhere. We just have to take a look at it. We got to let it wait a little bit because that was our problem last time. We kind of undersold where we needed to be. Let's go ahead and book it, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. We got another episode of Starrcade going, pretty booked up. We did exactly 65 minutes with 10 segments to kind of propel the storyline forward as we get closer and closer to our pay-per-view. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on. So, wow. Ouch. F plus for this opening match as we try to debut some of our new wrestlers. It had subpar wrestling and little heat. Randy Rain defeated Ho Ho Lun in 4 minutes with a TKO. His gimmick was good though. That's good. Maybe they turned off by the fact that they were two jobbers, which I should have thought about. But I wanted to give him a win, just a little bit. It actually hurt our enthusiasm. Ouch. Boy. That's a bad match. That's a real bad match. Not much to say about that. So I probably should have had it. I didn't want him to win against like a lower mid-carder. But I wanted to give him something to just kind of debut with. Apparently should have not done that though. Crap. Well, let's move on. Slightly better. We have a terrible wrestling and didn't have much heat. Lennon Sloan defeats Kevin Condren in 2 minutes by pinfall. Actually, no. That's not supposed to be that way. It's weird. It's kind of weird that it actually says that. Should have been a DQ, which is what I had set up. During the match, the Mike Werner ran in and attacked Sloan, which is actually how it should have ended. Sloan gets the win because he got DQ'd by Mike Werner. I don't know why it had that set up. It's weird. Lennon seemed really off his game. Kevin got his old school face gimmick and got above average. They did not click at all. Good to know. Finally got the crowd hotter. Sloan had a 34. Kevin had a 15. Ouch. Well, we'll see if we could develop him. What we might do is maybe I want to find somebody that Kevin clicks with, and maybe we'll have him in a tag team or something. We were talking about how our tag team division sucks anyways. Maybe we start to do something with it. Afterwards, we have a match, or angle, where Mike Werner and Len Sloan continue their fight back and forth outside the ring. After the match got DQ'd, bells is ringing nonstop as the ref's trying to get the crowd in order. Ultimately, though, Sloan overpowers Werner, gets him to the ground, and knocks him out, and stands up triumphant. It seems that despite Werner's best efforts, his former friend and partner turned into the weird communist sociopath, or Marxist sociopath, is now kind of outperforming him, and he's not able to kind of get the upper hand. No improvements. Didn't gain heat or lose heat. Bad rating, but there we go. That's a little bit better. Afterwards, we have a interview backstage, and Pillman, fired up after his loss, talks about his journey here, talks about how he has worked so hard to get to the NWA and to become something, and how honored it is to, how much of an honor it is to wrestle in such a prestigious legacy, and how much the belt meant to him. It vindicated all the years that he worked to get here as a teenager. his parents and his family telling him how much of a stupid idea it would be to ever get into this area and to not follow in his father's footsteps because he saw what happened to him. And that belt meant that they were all wrong, that he was something greater than himself, that he had a purpose, he had a vision, he had a future, and without it, he doesn't know if he does anymore. And he will get it back in his rematch. And he's basically promising the crowd that he will not disappoint them. Real big babyface work, promo. Doesn't really do much specifically, but it does give us a decent rating. He's got a good entertainment skill. He's good on the mic, and it shows, and it gives him a little bit more momentum. Ooh, talk about a terrible match. We have Ashley Vox versus Rachel Ellering. Didn't have much heat. Terrible wrestling. We are trying to develop Ashley. She defeats Rachel in 5 minutes by pinfall with a fish on a hook. That doesn't really do well here. Ashley's performance is better than Rachel, but not by much. But we are trying to give her some more momentum. And we do have a gimmick. Wanted to give her a better kind of character. So we're giving her a cocky youth gimmick. Above average. That'll work. Give her a little bit more personality as we develop. She cuts a promo, kind of developing that personality. And, she's saying that she's a threat, that no one ever paid attention to her, and she's going to prove how wrong it was, as she was relegated to the bottom of the roster. She's going to work her way up, and she's targeting Tessa Blanchard right now. She's like, you've won a championship because you didn't have anyone else to compete against in a weak, shallow division. Now that I'm here, now that I have my eyes set on you, you're going to really see what a real challenge is. I'm coming for that belt, and then I'm coming for Ronda. And then I'm going to prove everyone that said anything about me wrong. Got the crowd hotter, advanced her storyline, and gained heat for the story. So while the match wasn't great, we're at least building some legitimacy to her, and it seems to be gaining heat for her as well. D-, it's actually not that bad. Much better. We have an angle with Will Ospreay in a backstage interview. And, he's talking about how surprised he was by the match with Paige, how it's been a long time since he's felt that challenge, that he wants a truly epic match with him, because he sees the potential in him, and he knows that this will really be a real fair, legitimate challenge. And he kind of talks a little shade, saying that he's been relegated to the junior division, when he clearly should be further up the chain, and that this will be another stepping stone to prove that, he has evolved over the year to really take on all comers. And if Hangman can take him to his limit, and so be it. We'll see how it goes. But he's kind of opening the challenge that at the next pay-per-view, it'll be a 2 out of 3 falls match. And we advance that storyline. Paige gets his opportunity. Will Ospreay, chews the scene with the mic. Does pretty good. C+, 69. Not bad. After that, we have another backstage segment, this time in Billy Corgan's office, where he brings in Nick Aldis, and he starts talking to him about the Founder's Clause and the danger of Paul Pinky George. Nick Aldis is absolutely livid at the idea. He's like, this guy can just take over this entire company from you, from us, from everything that we worked for. Corgan's like, it's just some cockamamie scheme from 70 years ago for when equal partners were in dispute. He's like, well, what is he even going to do with this company? He's like, I don't know. He's like, he's talked about just ripping to pieces and selling it as for parts, So all this essentially agrees to Corgan that he'll be his champion and that he will defend the NWA against sort of the corporate machinations that Paul Pinky George wants to bring. Billy Corgan underperformed. Nick Aldis did well, though. Got a D. Really, Corgan probably dragged it down, but not bad. And now we have definitely our Founders Championship match known. It will be exactly where the NWA started a year ago. Nick Aldis versus Tim Storm for the future of the NWA. Speaking of Tim Storm, afterwards we have a match where he defeats Ryan Nemeth and continues his winning streak, proving that he's got his momentum and his mojo back. He hits the Eye of the Storm, a little bit off his game, but he's doing okay. He's doing better than he has been in the past. Not really improving, but we're at least giving him some legitimacy to the possibility that he could win, and possibly change the NWA forever. And kind of, again, bringing it back to his kind of, he is retiring. We're giving him that one final sort of the run, as I would almost say a staple of the NWA in recent years. There's a lot of history with him, and we're going to give him that final run if he wants it. And, of course, we have a match to give Aldis something to do since he's on tonight. We have Nick Aldis versus Tama Tonga, once again showing Nick Aldis' superiority, and he handily defeats Tama Tonga. And actually a pretty good match. They have great chemistry together. That's interesting. Tonga had a 58. Nick Aldis had a 64. Both do pretty well. But not Aldis kind of now fired up over the prospect of the changing of the leadership in the NWA and making sure that Billy Corgan stays in power kind of propels him to a victory and ends the show. So, not bad. Priest for popularity, C- is fine. We end up kind of pulling it out there from a really horrible start as we kind of premiered some of our newer guys. But we definitely are moving forward with our storyline. We definitely have a clear path of events for our next pay-per-view. And it seems to certainly be a doozy. A lot of high stakes for a lot of different people coming up here. And in fact, it will be next week. NWA Resolution will be in 5 days. And so we have some big ones, right? We have, obviously, titles on the line. Will Ospreay getting the 2 out of 3 falls match with Hangman Page. We have a rematch for the North American Championship, in which Brian Pillman will be trying to overcome the odds and reclaim his title. We have a X Division Champions match against Tessa Blanchard in her second defense against, I think she had Tenille twice, so this will be actually her third defense, this time against a fired-up Ashley Vox. Obviously, Tag Team Championship will be on the line. And the World's Heavyweight Championship with Dustin Rhodes going after his first defense, I believe, second defense with the championship. This time after the against the basically the leader of the cult Josephus, Christopher Daniels, and the cult trying to claim all the titles. They have the tag, they have the North American. Now they're going after the world's heavyweight, seemingly very much on fire about keeping control of the NWA, possibly for the other major match, which is the Founders Champion, in which the Founders Clause will allow the winner of this match to take majority stake control of the company and oust the other. So by the end of NWA Resolution, either Billy Corgan or Paul Pinky George will be in control of the NWA, and that may mean disastrous things for it. Let's go ahead and look Yeah, not bad. I mean, so we're still losing money, but at a far lower clip, and we'll have to see what our pay-per-view ends up coming out to be. I'm looking positive at this. This just seems to be on the right track. That's good. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time for NWA Resolution.